Hello guys, welcome to the video. In this one I want to show you how to animate buttons with a scale. Let me show it to you real quick how it's going to look. So this is the prototype and these are the menu buttons, and we can do same for any button in the game. So when you put your mouse over it, it grows a bit. When you put mouse out of it, it goes smaller. And you can do this for multiple buttons. So this gives us this nice animation, right? You can just slide like that. This is what we're going to do in this video. And as I said, it can be attached basically to any button in the game, including the one we have over here for the wave timer. Now let's go back. And for this, we need to go to UI animator, the one we created before. And we need another coroutine here. Let's make a private enumerator, change scale coroutine. And in this one, again, we need rect transform. And we also need a scale, the target scale for the object. I think we don't need vector 3 for this one. In the parentheses, we can just pass new scale and then create local variable inside of a coroutine. And I think I'll use duration here as well. Now, next step would be actually, let's do 0.25 here by default. Later you'll know why. Now inside, let's make float time, same as before. And then let's make vector 3 initial scale equals to rect transform local scale. And for the target scale, let's do vector 3 target scale equals to new vector 3 with new scale, and new scale, like that. So one value will be used for X, Y, and Z. Very nice. Now we need while loop, again, same as before. And then we need rect transform local scale equals to vector3.lerp from initial scale to target scale time duration, time plus equals time.delta time, and yield return null. Man, I feel like we're using this method a lot in this project, but it suits so well, I don't know why not. Let's do rect transform.local scale equals to target scale, just to snap it in the end. Very nice. So now we have this method and we can use it. And same as before, we need public void change scale method that we can use. I'm gonna pass transform again. I'll just name it as transform and then float target scale and float duration. And I'm gonna do 0.25 again. Then we need rect transform. Rect transform equals to transform, get component of a rect transform. Again, same as in the last video. Then start coroutine, change scale co with a rect transform, target scale, and duration. Perfect. So now this will work and let's use it, but it will have sort of a side effect that we need to fix. And I'm gonna show it to you after we see this side effect, because I want you to know how did I, come up with the system. Let's make a new script for buttons. And we're gonna practice on the main menu. So I'll switch off in-game UI. I'll switch on main menu. Let me see if UI here interferes with that. Yeah, it does. Let me comment out this one. And also, let's go to Wave Manager and let's make time between waves as something big, because we don't want game interfere with us checking buttons, okay? Later we can reduce the value. Alrighty. Now we need to open main menu and we need to select all of the buttons and add component of UI button. Wait, I forgot to create component. Let's make it. Let's do C# script UI button. Just like that. So let's select these buttons. Let's put the script on. And then let's open this script. Inside of this script, we want to have reference to UI animator. So private UI animator, UI anim, then awake, UI anim get component in parent. Perfect. Now after that, we need, wait a second. We need serialize field, private float, showcase scale, how big button should be when we put mouse over it. I'm gonna do showcase scale equals to 1.1f. We don't really need a big value, to be honest. And then we need serialize field, private float, scale up duration. And this one gonna be as a really small value, maybe 0.25 as I said there by default. But if you want, you can adjust it. Okay. Now we need on pointer enter and on pointer exit. So I enter, wait, pointer enter. To be honest, I forgot if I did explain this before, so I'm gonna explain it anyway. iPointer enter and iPointer exit is an interface that was created by Unity. Interface allows you to put basically same method on different game objects, and this method can be named same, it can have same way of calling it, but logic inside of a method can be different. I did explain interface, iDamageable, I remember it. Alright, so same as we did iDamageable, this one is iPointer enter and iPointer exit, and these two was created by Unity. Pointer enter is called whenever mouse enter in game object. Pointer exit is called whenever mouse exit in game object. That's all what you need to know actually. And now we can go here and we can do UI anim, change scale, and then we need to pass here a rect transform, which we don't have yet. So we can do private rect transform, my rect transform. Let's do my rect. And we need to get this in the awake. My rect equals to get component of rect transform. And also I would like to move awake above like so. Now we can use it here. My rect, and we need to pass showcase scale, and duration can be scale up duration. When we exit in the object with the mouse, we can do same, but as a scale, we're going to use 1 to bring it back to default. Or if you want to have smaller value, you can. And basically that's it. And it would be perfect if it was just like that, but we have a problem. Let's go back and I'm going to show it to you. Let it compile for a second. All right, we have values. We can hit the play button. All right, I've got settings. Let's go back. Now, if I put my mouse inside of a button, it's going to be bigger. Then it's going to be smaller if I remove the mouse. Simple as that. And it works like that for all of the buttons. It also works fine while you do this with 2 buttons. But if you use your mouse really fast and do this, you can see them sort of snapping and glitching. So what is happening there is that one coroutine interferes with another. Whenever you enter object with the mouse or exiting, you start another coroutine. And coroutines can run simultaneous. I can never say this, simultaneously. Well, I mean, these coroutines, they can run all together at the same time. Because of that, you can start one coroutine that makes object bigger. When you exit, you make it smaller, and when you do it a lot, one coroutine starts after another, and it's like mix of all coroutines together running at the same time. So it doesn't really even know what the size should be. It's sort of like makes it smaller and bigger all the time, and because of that, it looks glitchy like that. So what we need to do is to make sure we can run only one coroutine on the button. So for that, we need to do a bit of a change. First of all, we want to go to UI animator, and we want to make this coroutine public, so it can be accessed from outside, like that. And we can still keep this method for other elements, but for button, we're going to do this. We're going to make private coroutine, and yes, coroutine can be used as a variable, and we're going to name it as scale coroutine. Then when we enter in the method, we're going to do this. Scale coroutine equals to, let's remove this, equals to start coroutine of UI anim change scale coroutine. Then we need to pass here my rect, and again, what was that? Showcase scale and scale up duration, just like that. Now I'm gonna duplicate this and I'm gonna bring it down over here, and instead of showcase scale, it's gonna be just number 1. So this will assign coroutine to this variable over here, and it will start coroutine at the same time. Kind of like we do with instantiate, similar to that. And before that, we want to check if scale coroutine is not equals to null. And if it's not, we're gonna do stop coroutine of a scale coroutine. So what happens here is that we're creating a variable of a coroutine over here, then we're filling it up with a coroutine we're going to start when we enter in the object. Then next time when we enter in the object, we check if we have something under scale coroutine. And if we do, we're simply gonna stop that coroutine. It's gonna stop functioning. And because of that, we're gonna start new coroutine fresh, and no other coroutines will affect this game object. We'll need to do same over here. Null, then stop coroutine, our scale coroutine. And now, when we switch between objects, just like I showed you before, it's gonna look more subtle and much less glitchy. Okay. Let me try again. I'm gonna go to play mode. Gonna go back, and it works fine. And if I try to switch between them real fast, you can see it's not really happening. Yeah, no glitches anymore. And I like it much more subtle, you know, looks finished. Perfect. Now, whenever you want to animate another button, you can do that just by attaching this UI button script to another button. Before we do that, let's do something else. If you switch between buttons, for example, if I go to settings and it's bigger, look at this, I'll make it bigger, I'll go to settings, and when I go back, the button is going to be big. And to make it smaller, I need to enter and exit this button. So to fix that, we can go back to UI button, and over here we need to make new interface, I pointer down handler, and this one is called every time we click on the object. And over here we just have to do myrect local scale equals to new vector 3 1 1 1. Simple as that. Now let's save it, let's test it, and we can go further. You're gonna go to play button, to play mode, go back. I'm gonna increase settings in size, then I'm gonna click it. And when I go back, we can see settings has same size as other buttons. Very nice. Now we can test it with other elements. For example, settings has a back button. Credits has any buttons? Yeah, there is a back button. Level selection is empty for now, so we don't need to care about that. Well, there is actually a back button as well. And that's it for now. So let's take back button, back button, back button. I think we're supposed to have pose UI. Did I not? I did not make it yet. Oh. Well, we'll have to make another video then. UI button. Okay, just add component and it's going to work. And let's try that for wave timer force button. UI button. All right, now I want to test that. Let's go to play mode. Back button becomes bigger, so it's dynamic. Perfect. We can click other buttons. It works. I love it. Now let me switch off main menu. Let me switch on in-game UI. Maybe it will not work like that. Yeah, have to be there from the start. Okay, let's do this. Let's go to canvas and let's do switch to UI in-game. Also, I wonder why did I do it like that? Should be settings UI, right? Main menu UI. Well, it's fine. And wave timer could be smaller now, something like 10 seconds. Let's go to play mode. Enemies are entering the castle. Now there is a button, and if I put my mouse over it, it becomes a bit bigger. So now it's at least noticeable, you can do something with it. I also have idea of making text blink, but that would be for another video, I guess. Nice, very nice. We did something very nice in this video. So that's it for now, and I'll see you in the next one.